In this episode, I'm going to be focusing on women in the corrosion control and protective coatings industry. We're going to be talking about women in engineers or women engineers. With me this afternoon, I have Christine Kirby. She's a professional engineer with Lockwood, Andrews, and Newnham. Christine, welcome.
Hello, Jim. I'm a civil engineer here at LAN in the Houston office. We're a full service planning, engineering, and program management firm, and one of our is providing solutions to extend the life of aged infrastructure, including corrosion engineering design and testing services. This week, we're celebrating Engineers Week, and our theme for this year is Pioneers of Progress. Just like the pioneers, we use our knowledge, our creativity, and our sense of adventure to conquer new frontiers. And the corrosion control and protective coatings industry is an ever-changing and dynamic field, and we're always trying to reach new ground.
Oh, very interesting. Christine, to open up this interview, you as a professional engineer and very experienced working in corrosion control and the protective coatings industry, have you experienced yourself or seen other professional women encounter any type of barriers or challenges, working in corrosion control and the protective coatings industry?
Jim, today we have nearly 20% of the bachelor's and engineering degrees earned by women, but we only have 13% of women in the engineering workforce. Women have increased their numbers in other STEM professions, but not necessarily women in the engineering profession in the U.S. It really hasn't increased. Only 30% of women who earn bachelor's degrees in engineering are still working in engineering 20 years after they graduate. And 1/3 of these women, they say the root problem is organizational climate. And I say that the biggest career challenge faced by women is fearlessly. Some of the things that affect organizational climate are implicit biases, such as the prove yourself bias, where we sometimes must work harder to prove ourselves to earn that same level of respect and recognition as our colleagues. There's also the tightrope bias, where we have a narrow range of acceptable behavior, and being assertive can be seen as being too aggressive for a female, but not for a male. And also sometimes a female engineer is given more administrative assignments and less opportunities for technical growth. And women are sometimes offered less advancement opportunities. And in my career, I've seen my female colleagues wait substantially longer for these opportunities and for this recognition. And even small amounts of bias in an organization can have large effects in reducing the representation of women over time, especially in high-level positions. And it's important to both male and female engineers that their personal values and desired company culture align with that of their current employer. There's a cost of employee turnover for highly trained professionals. It can be up to 150% or more of his or her annual salary. And I hope that employers in the corrosion control and protective coatings industry can see the importance of company culture and how unconscious biases in the organization can ultimately trigger costly employee turnover. And ultimately, improving the company culture and climate may reduce turnover of qualified, competent team members, resulting in greater success.
It's interesting to hear your perspective on everything and also your experience and observations. So in your opinion, how can those who work in and support the corrosion control and in the corrosion industry, how can they do more to expand the number of professional women working in both industries?
Sure, Jim. We can really start with investing in the next generation. And this means providing STEM education and development opportunities for boys and girls, all colors, all socioeconomic backgrounds. And there are a lot of great programs out there for kids right now. And one of those is Girl Scouts. They offer so many STEM learning opportunities. I got to be a Girl Scout leader for 6 years, and I really enjoyed it. And we had quite a few STEM adventures. We built bridges, we did chemistry and physics experiments, we did a mission to space, and we learned about how earthquakes work with Legos, and We even built a box oven and we used it. It's great for camp breakfast. There's no question that girls are technically capable and they excel in academic performance. So what's missing? We're seeing 32% of college women in STEM-based studies transfer to other majors before they even graduate. And you know what I believe is the most important thing we can really do to invest in our next generation of women is to find ways to build their confidence. It's a key factor when it comes to success in school and career, and studies show that a girl's confidence peaks between the age of 8 and 12, and then it begins to decline. And in our society, girls are encouraged to be careful and to be cautious and to avoid making mistakes and to seek perfection. And we have girls who excel academically and have tons of potential, but are not willing to go outside of their comfort zone. And this becomes amplified more so now that social media is making an impression on them. And while what they see is not real, it's an unattainable level of perfection that's perceived there. And the result can be young people taking less risks and not developing that confidence and that grit needed to be successful in an industry such as ours. And grit, which is the ability to fall down and get back up, it's really the single most important factor when it comes to success in anything we do. And that's what the girls need to learn. That's what they need to learn and how to do in order to be successful. And you know, organizations like Girl Scouts, they offer programs that help build this confidence. And there's other things too, like team sports and, you know, cultural arts programs out there, and those can help develop confidence as well. And having that opportunity to make mistakes and learn from them is the very basis of confidence building. And what we must do for the current and future generation of girls is to show them that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone to success.
So you directly are tackling a lot of the challenges and issues that you mentioned in the first part of the question. So, you know, in really looking at, you know, how professionals like yourself can work with young professionals coming into the industry, especially, you know, young girls and women coming into the industry. Do you do any type of mentoring or anything like that?
Yes, I sure do. I really enjoy mentoring young professionals that are entering the workforce. And, you know, these kids have so much potential, but they need to be challenged. And they're really seeking a career that gives them a strong sense of purpose. And what could be more important than protecting our infrastructure and our assets? It's really a high calling. And, you know, young professionals are looking for opportunities to learn how to make this world a better place. And we have an exceptional and diverse group of young professionals here at LIN, including women. And with corrosion control being paramount to our engineering work, I like to take a group out to see coatings being applied in a shop. Longwell Coatings here in Houston, they have welcomed us a few times, and they've always been so accommodating. They offer a variety of coating applications that here in their shop, and we like to do a tour there. Also, Northwest Pipe Company, they gave us a recent tour of their new pipe coating building, and stand there and watch them apply coatings to a 108-inch diameter steel pipe. Our young engineers, both male and female, they were able to see that surface preparation process from start to finish, the testing, the quality control measures that were being done, and see the coating be applied firsthand. And, you know, as engineers, we're very detailed. We want to have an in-depth understanding of the process. And our young engineers, they asked intelligent questions, and it was a great opportunity for learning.
That sounds very interesting. We covered a lot of different topics, both the challenge and the issues that exist in the industries, and also too how to kind of firsthand tackle them or kind of face them with dealing with STEM programs and things such as Girl Scouts and other type of outreach. We also talked about what you do in the field, both with your own colleagues, but also with young professionals and the mentoring that you do. You know, in closing this interview out, you know, what career advice would you give to a young, you know, female professional who's coming out of the university, you know, and they're looking at the engineering field, both in the corrosion control and protective coatings industry?
Absolutely. I would like to tell her that she is choosing an exciting and dynamic career. And while it can be very challenging, it can be so very rewarding. as well, because this industry is ever changing. You never stop growing, you never stop learning, you never stop being challenged. And I would suggest that she get involved in professional societies, including NACE and SSPC, to develop her technical knowledge. And especially when it comes to the protective coatings industry, it's very important to have a strong network in place. And also, she should find a mentor. And in the spirit of the pioneers, have courage and take risks and reach those new frontiers and accomplish your dreams, realize your potential. Don't be afraid to go outside your comfort zone, and that's where the amazing things happen.
Excellent, excellent. That's great advice. So in the comments below, what I'll have, we'll have Christine's email address. So those of you who want to reach out to her and talk with her a little bit more about this topic, please feel free to do that. Christine, I want to thank you very much for having the opportunity to talk with you today.
Well,
have a great day.
All right. Thanks so much, Jim.